It's Ellen. Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about spring fragrances, and I have to be really fast because I'm late for something. I should have left like 10 minutes ago. But there's a mix of niche. Actually, let me back up here. I filmed this video like twice already and I didn't like how it came out, and then I moved some of my fragrances upstairs, so this is not all of them that I want to share with you. So maybe I'll just do like a multi-part series on spring fragrances, because I think in my collection, the number, like in terms of quantity, I have the most spring and winter fragrances, but I think actually, I guess this is just part of me growing up, but I've come to the realization that spring fragrances are like my favorite style of fragrance, because I don't know, I just feel so new, and life is kind of like breathed back into me, and I love sort of having a fragrance that makes me feel alive and stuff. Especially, you guys know, if you've watched maybe like my last one or two videos, that I haven't been feeling so well and I'm still kind of getting better, but the weather warming up is really helping. So without further ado, I'm just gonna share with you a few springtime fragrances that I really like in no particular order. So the first one I want to share is Winter Palace by Memo. Now, I know this says winter on it, that's in the name, but this is a really lovely smoky orange and tea scent, and I feel like the tea is really like a black tea or a red tea, kind of like oolong or the rooibos type tea. It's kind of like a darker scent, but it has citrus in it, and I'm someone who doesn't actually love tea or citrus scents, but something about this like together, and it being kind of a more like darker, more heavy, sort of like almost resinous a little bit type scent. I don't know, it's just so lovely when the weather warms up a touch, because it really makes the scent kind of bloom and come to life. And the citrus in here is not, it's not like a fresh citrus. It's really like, it makes me feel, you know, when you get an orange and you kind of peel it, but then your hands become kind of like oily. It's like a concentrated orange oil type of scent. Look at the bottle as well. It's really pretty. This is a total gem in my collection. I first sampled it, well, actually, I got a sample of this in the mail when I was playing this like guess the decant game on one of my like Facebook groups, and it was like a mystery decant that got sent to me, and I was like, what is this? The tea is really strong as well, but it's a heavy tea, you know? It's not like... I had a fragrance by Guerlain. It was called Te Azura. It was from their Aqua Allegoria line, and I didn't really like that because the tea was really like light and it wasn't really tickling my brain in the right way. But this one is a big dose of tea. So that is Winter Palace. Next, another sort of fancy one. It's not that fancy because I don't have the bust cap, but those are really expensive. Anyway, this is Cho-Cho-san by mdci parfums. This is such a girly pink, like kind of shampoo-y, fruity floral scent. It features sakura, or like cherry blossom, and it also has lychee in it, and I think peony. You know, all the sort of like pink, fruity, girly things are in here. And it makes me want to like dress up in like a cute skirt with like cute kitten heels and like a ton of accessories and do my makeup in a certain way. You know, it's just very kind of ballerina girl type, clean. I don't know, you know, all the buzzwords that are like associated with like coquettish, pink, girly type Pinterest aesthetic type stuff. But anyway, this one is so lovely because it really sticks around. I know a lot of fruity florals kind of just like that was my washing machine. Um, a lot of these girly sort of florals don't really stick around for too long. And the scent is floral, it's kind of juicy. It's like a teensy bit tart, but not really. It's not like Delina where it's kind of sour, but it definitely smells pink like Delina, or, you know, like the Miss Dior blooming roses are absolutely blooming. I don't know what they're called. But that line, you know, the pink smell. And I would say this is just a very elevated kind of fruity floral. So some people may say that the price is not worth it because you can get fruity florals like $1 a dozen, a dime a dozen. I don't know. Sorry, I don't know what the phrase is, but they're really common, right? But this one smells like a regular fruity floral, but just like really, really good and high quality. So if that's something that you're looking for, I'd recommend checking this one out. I have another mdci parfum that I want to mention. This one is une coeur en mai. I always have a lot of trouble pronouncing the name, but this is a like mimosa, rose, and galbanum scent. And I think there's a few other notes in there. I can never remember them, but actually primarily this smells a lot like rose to me, and it's quite a green rose. It smells like a rose that's not really in full bloom. It's kind of like the bud still, but it has like, you can smell the stem and stuff. And I always feel like, oh, there's also a bit of bitterness in here, but I always feel like this scent kind of smells like a crystal, like a very beautiful cut crystal by like a master jeweler or whatever. It has like a million sides to it, and it's shiny and it's really clear, you know, you can see right through it, but it's solid and it has presence. It's not I would say it's like watery, but it has presence to it. Does that make any sense? Like, I think it has to do with the strength and lasting power of this fragrance, because somehow it smells kind of watery, like watercolor, but unlike those other scents that are kind of like smell like that but disappear really quickly, this one just lingers. It stays with you the whole day. Like, when I wear it, I can smell it all day, which is crazy because you know, I always complain about stuff not lasting at all. So the fact that this one hangs around is really incredible. It's a very serious scent though. So before, when I worked in a very corporate environment, like I would wear this all the time to the office, and I would alternate between this, specifically for the springtime, I'd alternate between this and a scent by Prada. It's the Infusion Rose scent, the rose infusion one. And I actually find that they smell very similar, except this lasts a lot longer and it doesn't have that Prada like powdery DNA in it. But I would say the rose quality is really similar between the two. And also, you know, I think a lot of people say this smells a lot of mimosa. I don't get that much mimosa in it, which is interesting. Now, mimosa smells like, I guess I can kind of tell that it's there, but it's mainly rose to me. Mimosa smells kind of like cucumbers to me, like a sort of fluffy, fuzzy, floral cucumber. But I don't get that from this, you know? I get the bitterness from the galbanum and the sort of greenness from the rose and the stem, and then of course the rose itself, and it's watery, but it's like solid, like that crystal I was talking about. Really, truly a lovely office scent, I would say. I wouldn't really wear it anywhere else because it's kind of too elegant and sophisticated and mature and serious. I wouldn't say mature in a bad way. It's just like, it's a very put together scent, and I'm kind of like, I mean, I would describe myself as like a fun person. So like, this doesn't really suit me unless I'm in an environment where I have to be really serious and I want people to maybe perceive me in a certain way. Unless you're kind of like a serious put together person every single day of your life, then for sure sample this one. Look at how much I've used. That's a lot. This is Bohemian Soul by nuit, nomade. This is a cedar, well, not cedar, it's a Gaiac wood scent. It reminds me a lot of two scents. One by Byredo, it's called Gypsy Water or G Water. I know, like, apparently the G word is like a slur. I don't know enough about the history or anything, but I'm just gonna accept that. I'm not gonna argue with it. So G Water is like a, actually don't know what the notes are in there, but I think it's like a sandalwood or cedary or like Gaiac wood type scent with vanilla. So it's like a woody vanilla, and this also reminds me a lot of Tam Dao, which is a sandalwood cedary, like kind of meditative woody scent. Now, out of the three of those, actually love Tam Dao the most, but Tam Dao does not last even like 5 minutes on me. I spray it and then it just immediately disappears. The lasting power is so bad. I had a bottle. It's gone now because I was so upset with the performance for the price, but the scent itself is so beautiful because it's, you know, for the 5 minutes I can smell it, it is kind of like a watery, not watery, but very light and airy, but still smooth and creamy, woody, sandalwood, cedary type scent. This is like my replacement Tam Dao because this lasts a really long time. It is not as beautiful as Tam Dao, I would say. Tam Dao kind of reminds me of being in like a temple in Japan or something, and like it's really calm, you know, everything's made out of wood and it smells like spring, the air is kind of warm, and you have like the waft of maybe like an onsen like 10 kilometers away, kind of just like wafting over, you know. Whereas Bohemian Soul is more, I would say it's more like grounded. It's more, you can definitely tell there's more aroma chemical in here, I guess. It's more linear and it's stronger than Tam Dao, but it's very woody. It's like a Gaiac wood scent, as I mentioned. It has iris and I think like olibanum or something in here. But primarily I smell the Gaiac wood. And I guess I can kind of sense the olibanum quality as well, but it reminds me, it kind of makes me think of sitting in like a log cabin, and the wood is, it's kind of like fresh. It's, the wood smell is really strong, and then maybe like you have a window with the light coming in and you're just kind of in there relaxing, and the wind is blowing and then it's like rustling around the tree leaves outside, and then the light shining into you is kind of like, you know, becoming like a, not a disco ball, but like, yeah, you know what I mean? The light is kind of scattering inside your log cabin. It's stronger and long lasting compared to Tam Dao, but I'd say the blend, in terms of the pure blend, I prefer Tam Dao more because I find it a bit less linear. Like, this is really quite linear to me. But obviously you can see how much I like it because I've worn it a lot, and I really like it for this time of year as well. It's more unisex masculine in my opinion, but it's not so masculine that I wouldn't wear it. And the last one that I want to mention is this very quickly. It is Olene by Diptyque. This is a fantastic photorealistic honeysuckle scent. It also has jasmine in it and maybe some other florals, but really I just smell the honeysuckle. This is one of the very first fragrances from Diptyque that I fell in love with right at the beginning of my fragrance journey, and I knew that I had to have it, but I just couldn't find it on a discount anywhere. But finally I managed to get my hands on it. Lasting power is not good, but if you love photorealistic white florals and you're looking for like a honeysuckle scent, this one is fantastic. It is so good. And in my area, and also where my mother sort of grew up in our communist homeland, we have honeysuckle growing in the springtime, and then they bloom sort of in the later spring. And then when you kind of go for a walk around the neighborhood, for me anyway, I always get wafts of honeysuckle kind of in the air, and that's exactly what this smells like. You know, it's just so intoxicating in the springtime. It's kind of like you smell that in the air, you're like, what is that? You have to follow it to find the source, and there's inevitably like a giant honeysuckle bush just, you know, releasing the greatest smell ever. So this is that's like this in a bottle. So I really love it for the springtime, and even I love it in the summer too, but it's actually kind of it was nice. I remember in my previous workplace, I would be sitting in my office, and then I remember like once a guy came in and he was like, wow, it smells so good in here. It's like, it smells like a flower shop, right? And I was like, that's this. Thank you. And I think this scent, not many people, it's not like a super popular scent or anything, but the people who like it, like really love it. It has its own like very private sort of cult following or something. So that's Olene, and I want to show you the artwork before I end the video. I don't know if you can see too well, but the attention to detail from Diptyque, I adore. Those are the fragrances. I don't know how many I shared with you, but those are the ones I'm going to share with you for now, and then I will film another follow-up to this because I have so many spring fragrances that I love, and I find that I can use them really quickly. Like, look at the dents in all these bottles. Like, they all have been used and loved. And you can even see, like, this one, like, I don't know if you can hear. Yeah, I've used this one up too, even though you can't really see through the bottle. But anyway, I was supposed to make that quick. It was not quick. So see you guys. Well, let me know what you're wearing for spring or what you're excited to wear, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!